Cracked earth stretches up to the horizon, broken only by one partially beached boat in a puddle. It's hard to imagine this whole area was once a lush green marshland.
Well, I think of all the places that I've visited in Iraq, this probably sums up the crisis that the country is facing at the moment in terms of water shortages. This is a small village just north of Basra in the marshlands called Hijra, and up until about 2 or 3 months ago was populated by families who were largely living off the water buffalo trade and agriculture. But as you can see behind me, it's now a barren, arid desert. The water over the course of this punishing summer basically has dried up, and we're seeing this happen across the marshlands and across other areas of Iraq. The reasons for this are many. It seems to be a kind of concatenation of different nightmare scenarios that experts said to me is basically a perfect storm. The biggest issue that the southerners say they're facing is the reduction of water coming down the Tigris and the Euphrates, two of the biggest rivers in Iraq that are feeding the marshlands and large parts of the country.
Jassim, who has dedicated his life to monitoring the famed Mesopotamian marshlands, says this is one of the worst droughts in years.
Where we're standing
this is flooded with the water until 3 months ago, and you can reach, you see the road by boat.
So this all would have been underwater?
Yes.
A catastrophic mix of soaring temperatures from climate change and international dams further upstream have strangled the Tigris and Euphrates, which feed the marshes. It's having a devastating impact on the estimated 300,000 people who live here, like Dawood, a buffalo breeder who's been displaced multiple times already this year due to the disappearing waters.
المي على الحدود اليبوس هذا منا لمنطقة على البيوت ذنيش مقابل ذن البيوت هذا كله برد وكله منين ما تطب وتطلع الشطورة تمشي تطب الهوار وشوف تلقى لك كل حريجة مال يعني محترجة مال تلقى كل 4 دوابات 5 يعني 3 سوى يعني ميتات منتهيات يعني أول وحدة يبوس ماكو مي تشرب العالم يشي يظل يدور على حلاله وين يروح يجي يلقاه موت بالحراج. ايوه هالعالم هاي تشوفها بعد الدولة هي احنا شريد نناشد الدولة بس بهالطريقة هاي مال الماي للعالم. العالم هاي تشوفها تعبت وناس فقرة كل شماعتها على الله وعلى هالحليل هذا. ما نريد من الدولة شيء مثلا كضعلامنا اللي يجيبوا لنا ماي لا بس هي تشوف الشيء هذا بعيونها بعد.
Iraq's Environment Ministry has warned there could be mass displacement from the marshlands and rural areas because they are fast disappearing. They estimate that over the next few years, as many as 4 million people could be on the move, 1 million more than were displaced by the fight against the so-called Islamic State. Those who have tried to stay put, like Mahdi, say it's just a matter of time before they too have to move. The salty water is killing the cattle, their only livelihood.
مصيبة يعني هو عايش بينا أنا وقاعد بيهم ونص راح منهم هاي مش مصيبة مش مشكلة بعدنا بعد ما أقدر هسه أنا وعينها الله أروح الصيد أشوف الشغلة تحقي لكن بس الكبار 5 غير الصغار هسه لو أبي إحنا بفلوس بالوحدة ب10 ما أعطي هاي زين كل من لا هاي أكثر شيء أكثر شيء مش هاي أكثر من الماي الأغاض من الجفاف مال الماي يا تاكل خضار العنقر الخضر وتشرب ماء غم هاي تموت قبل العنقر تو طالع بس تشربه تاكله وتشرب ماء غم تموت قبل هي أكثر من هاي الماء.
It's not just dams which are causing the marshlands to disappear. The UN warned in an extensive report last year that global surface temperatures are on track towards an unlivable 4 degrees centigrade rise unless all countries carry out unprecedented changes. For Iraq, these rising temperatures mean that the little water that is available is becoming increasingly saline. Seawater is also encroaching up the waterways that feed the marshlands from the Arabian Gulf, as they're no longer pushed back by a steady flow of fresh water from the north. All of these issues are also impacting rural communities up north. According to the United Nations Environmental Programme, Iraq is currently losing around 250 square kilometres of arable land a year. Desertification is also on the rise. Farmers say that their fields are becoming arid wastelands and have spoken about also having to be on the move to nearby cities. One such area is Yusufia, south of Baghdad. Here farmers say irrigation canals are emptying, wells are running salty, and so their crops are turning to dust.
العالم عايشة هاي جا أشوفها كلها فلاح زين قعدت كل شيء ماكو، الزرع مالتها عافوا وقيعانهم وقعدوا زين. القاع هيك صارت ماكو مي ماكو، قاموا يحفرون البير همين وقف. انا من ضمن الناس، انا احكي لك كنت حافر بير ببيتي على مود المي الغسول، هسه انتهى وقف.
The Iraqi authorities have struggled to fix the water crisis and are currently battling with nearby countries like Turkey to try to minimise the impact of new dams on their water resources. They fear the movement of people ultimately contribute to the deterioration of an already volatile security situation across Iraq and possibly trigger fresh conflict.
We have a regional cooperation. Unless we have international and regional frameworks to resolve our disputes on water, we will be suffering more and more.
What will that suffering look like? Could you give us a worst case scenario if this doesn't change, to explain how important this is?
Yeah, you know, more impoverishment, more displacement, social and economic, you know, desperation, internal migration, conflicts, terrorism. You create fertile soil for all kind of illegal activities, and these are a threat to the stability in the region and in the world.
الحلال انتهى. إذا يبقى الوضع بعد من نار الشتاء بيضل حلال كله كلها ثروة تنتهي كلها. إذا هاي الشتوى ما يجي بها مي ما تظل ثروة. هذا حلال من أجدادنا لحد الآن تعبانين وخسرانين وشايفين ضيم بيه. هذا راح السنة إذا تبقى هاي الوضع كل شيء ما يضل منا شيء نهائيا.